3 bench points.
Transition. And what happens when you're playing good defense? Also, the ball's moving.
Yeah.
And everyone's involved.
And it led to good, easy offense. You know, you get out and running some. You know, Luka changing his pace a little bit. But Bron's able to get out and get some easy ones. Jackson Hayes. There was a stretch, again, that they looked a little bit shaky. But they did a great job of keeping Chicago from not shooting the 3 as well for most of the duration of the game. There was, I think it was the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, they got really hot, started the third. But holding them to under 37%, I don't know what the mark is, but I think that's a pretty good. But they just, I mean, they pretty much played a lot of defense tonight with their offense. They shot it so well, they moved the ball so well. It allowed them to get back and have a set defense. But it also, again, when you're able to score like that, which they've been known to do, especially with Austin Reeves in the lineup, it helps a lot. It's easy to kind of overlook some of the defensive mistakes, but you got to still find ways to fine-tune that end of the floor.
Yeah, Chicago, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. They throw a lot of them up there, and they make a lot, especially over the last handful of games. They made 18, but the Lakers were able to stay right with them, making 16 in a much better percentage. Listen, LeBron set the tone, I thought, in that first half with 20, but you got to start with Luka. 46 points, James, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 8 threes, and this is his 25th 40-10 game in his career. He's 26 years old, already third most all-time.
I think I've told you this before, Geeter. Jerry West and Bill Sharman, those old guys, used to always say to me that NBA players really don't start to peak until you're like 27, 28 years old, after you've been through the gauntlet a little bit, figured out some things. Now, Luka's 26.
Yeah. Only 7 games behind James Harden.
He's getting ready to peak. Can you imagine what it's going to come in the next few years? So, yeah, amazing player.
Yeah, year 17 or 18 for James Harden. He's only 7 games behind. This is year, what for Luka, like 8 or 9, maybe? I
think so.
He's got I said, if his career stretches to 18, I think he'll catch Oscar. But yeah, he just so great. Doesn't speed up. Nobody speeds him up at his own pace. Makes it look easy. You know, it's kind of like, again, the LeBron and the Jokic, all the greats we talk about, we watch them today. You kind of take it for granted because of how easy and how consistent they do it night in, night out. So he was unbelievable tonight. Efficiency was great, 8 for 14 from 3, which was huge. And then, you know, 15 for 25 from the floor. So you can't ask for a better night from him.
And Danny, it's interesting. Listen, he's going to get 33 every single night. That's what he does, 33, 34. When that 3 ball is falling, early and
Might
late,
be 50.
like it was tonight, that's when he flirts with 50.
Yeah.
And he's over 40 every time.
Yeah, so I thought when he started hitting that 3 ball, I think it's around 36-ish, around maybe closer to maybe a little bit after halftime. I was like, he might get 50 tonight. It was like mid-third quarter. I was like, he might end up with 50. And he got 46, so we were 4 points off.
So big game, Rui, and I want to show you this over the last couple of games, coming off the bench. He's looking more like himself. And as Luka mentioned to Mike Trudell, you're coming back from injury. It takes a little time. 40 points in his last 2 games.
More like himself. He's looking better than more.
Looking better than he was, yeah. And look at the efficiency. That's 15 for 24 right there. That's 8 for 12 from 3. He was a plus 21 against Dallas, a plus 22 against Chicago. He's hitting big threes late in games as well to extend leads. And I think he's figuring out when and where to get his shots and coming off the bench as being advantageous as to not, if that makes sense.
It's funny how those players over the years who have figured out what you just said, you know, everybody wants to start. I'm not saying everybody wants to start.
Figured that out.
Starting is important, but this, you know, in order to maximize your talent in your game, and you don't care about starting, I think Rui has figured this out. I don't have to be on the floor with LeBron, maybe not even Luka. I am the man when I come off the bench. All I need to go out and do is produce, be aggressive, realize that I'm the captain of this bench now. And so when I come in, I get work done. And I think he's figuring that out. He's having fun doing it, too. I can just tell the way he's moving, the way he's always pumped up and
energy,
cheering.
Right?
There's something going on with him.
He's found to his step for sure.
You're right. It's a great observation. And Danny, you mentioned this in the first quarter when he came in, like, hey, LeBron goes out.
Yeah.
Rui comes in.
Yeah,
it's my time to cook.
I think, exactly. It's my time. That's what he's figured out. Like, this is my time. I found a home. This could be my group. So I can be aggressive. I can be, you know, who I wanted to be when I was in D.C. or even when, you know, Bron has been out or injuries have happened. So, like Big Game was saying, he's taken upon himself to lead this bench group and be the aggressor when he steps on that floor. So now it's like he doesn't have to worry about, all right, Bron's move and Luka's move, like it's their turn, I have to wait in the corner. No, when I come in, I can come in and be aggressive and shoot. And I think he probably prefers it. And I think, you know, JJ loves him in this position. This role for him has been great. He's been super efficient. Hopefully it continues. But yeah, they're still going to need some backup with Austin. But this makes them that much more dynamic in a deeper group when you have a guy like Rui coming off the bench and averaging 20 points a game.
And look at the bench scoring has now gone up because of what Rui's doing. All of a sudden, here they are with 33 points tonight. And I just loved what he did in that first half. 9 points, but it's the way he got them. 2 off the dribble pull-ups, a 3 on a catch and shoot, a dunk in transition,
block
also
shot.
got the block.
Yeah.
So that's big-time bench production in the first half. Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, they cut it to
shots, and they scored. But their patience to just pass and make the right play was really good. And, you know, whether it was, you know, Rui, Jake in the first half, you know, DA on the roll, Jackson on the roll, they made a lot of really good, simple plays. And, you know, that's reflected in our low turnover total. You know, another game where we get 25 plus assists and we're able to take care of the basketball, challenge the guys before the game. You know, this is a team that really wants to score in the paint and push the pace, and we outscored them in fast break points. We outscored them in the paint. So we did a lot of the things that we talked about pregame. This is a team that, and truthfully, that's part of their run they went on. This is a team that really tests your square to red principles, so your switching principles, and they do a really good job of getting roller behind, changing foot angles, shooting behind the switch, and that's kind of how they got back into it. But yeah, just a really good job from our guys tonight.
what kind of level of talent, it maybe is the right way to put it, but for Luka to get to 46 and, you know, without, I think, what do you take, 25 shots, and just how natural a lot of it looked. So can you just kind of put that in perspective?
Yeah, I mean, he has a really good sense of if they're blitzing me in pick and roll, you know, to be that facilitator. And, you know, him and I are starting to get that good feel for when he needs to get off ball. You know, when he's on ball and he's having to make a lot of plays, you know, that can tax you when he's guarding 1 through 5.
Low turnover total could be a reflection of making the simple plays in front of you. But we also saw Luka with a number of remarkable passes. How can those energize his teammates, but also him, like keeping him engaged with the pass as much through the shot?
Yeah, he, you know, similar to like some of the heat checks. You know, I've talked about this. He's an engine that's fully on, and he likes to create out there, and that's part of what makes him a great player. I think because I played with him, I have a pretty good understanding of that. And not to say it doesn't test your patience at times, you know, but you have to be willing to live with some of the stuff that he tries, because more often than not, you're going to get a great result. And he had some great passes. He made some amazing shots. But there's that creative element that he needs to thrive, and you've got to allow that.
How important was what Rui gave you on both ends of the court tonight?
Yeah, I think our bench was awesome. You know, all those guys impacted the game in some way. You know, Rui and Jackson in particular were really good tonight. And Rui now